Good evening. Club chair, fellow Toastmasters, guests. You press the button, we do the rest. Who knows where that advertising slogan came from?
Camera shot.
Almost. Any other guesses?
Photocopy.
Almost. This was the advertising slogan coined by George Eastman, none other than founder of that formerly monolithic photographic company, Eastman Kodak. I'll be talking to you tonight about memories. Recently, my family celebrated my grandmother's 79th birthday. We had a big family get-together. There was cake, lots of laughter, crazy antics, as is the case at any family gathering. One of the things we did that night was break out some of the old family albums. We had great fun flipping through that album, laughing at all the crazy things our parents made us wear, the daggy 80s and 90s hairdos. Looking through that album that night made me think how far we've come in terms of photography, how things used to be done, how we do them today, and what the future might bring. You press the button, we do the rest. With those words, Kodak launched photography for the masses way back in the 1890s. People would buy a camera from Kodak. They'd take their pictures. They'd send the camera, film and all, back to Kodak. And a few weeks later, they'd magically get the camera back, develop negatives, prints, and a fresh roll in the camera to take their next memories. That's how it was done for over 100 years. Even today, you can still buy a roll of 35mm film, record your memories, take it down to the 1 hour lab, if you can find one. And an hour later, you can come back and find that roll of film has magically turned into a set of 6x4 prints and developed negatives. And what did people traditionally do with those 6x4 prints? Why, stick it in an album, of course. In this way, the family album became an important historical chronicle. How many of you have albums sitting on shelves somewhere, waiting to be cracked open, so you can looking at all those crazy memories, times when you were younger, happier, places that aren't there anymore? In the words of Don Draper of Mad Men, that album for us was like a time machine. It took us back in time, around and around, back to a time when we were loved. But let's turn our focus to the present. What's the word on everyone's lips? Digital photography. In the past 10 years, digital photography has exploded. There are still a few holdouts who still shoot film, but most people think they're crazy. Digital photography has made photos electronic, fast, convenient, and intangible. All our photographs exist as random collections of zeros and ones. First with the big DSLR digital cameras, now with point and shoots and even camera phones and apps like Instagram. It's more of a case of you press the button and then do everything else. Did you know, in the past year, more photos were taken than in the past 50? Sure, they're mostly pictures of people's lunch, and just hold on a sec. I'm like self-portraits, but that's beside the point. Digital photography has made photography even more accessible for people. Instead of the family album, we now have the Facebook album. You can take your picture, put it up on Facebook, and share it with all your friends and family, and wherever your internet-capable device goes, so do your photos. Heck, you can take a photo, put it up on the internet, and in seconds, friends and family across the world can see what you just did. That made me think, what will the future bring? What's the next photographic revolution? Will we have 3D projections of our lunch? Will smell be the next frontier? What will be the next photographic revolution? I don't know. But what I do know is that you can future-proof your photos. Your photos, most digital photos, as I said before, are intangible. What you should do, make them tangible. Something you can hold in your hand. Something to put in an album somewhere, put away, and then years later, pull out that album, flip through it, and think, gosh, we wore some crazy clothes back in 2013. That family album put a few things in perspective for me. First, how far photography has come from exposing light onto sensitized pieces of film, all the way to electronic sensors that gather light, render that light as collections of zeros and ones, and somehow spit out a picture on the other end. What will the future bring? Who knows? Who knows what will happen next when you press the button? Contest check.